A wealthy businessman vanished from his waterfront Miami home, leaving his wife distraught and their exclusive social circle buzzing with speculation. But 3 months later, when police find his decomposing remains in the Florida Everglades, the investigation reveals a shocking truth about the brand-new Ferrari his wife had just purchased for his best friend. Marcus Rodriguez owned half of Miami's skyline. At 42 years old, he commanded a real estate empire that stretched from South Beach penthouses to downtown commercial towers. His Mediterranean-style mansion on Star Island boasted 8 bedrooms, a private dock, and panoramic views of Biscayne Bay. The kind of wealth that made headlines in Forbes and whispered conversations at yacht club galas. Isabella Rodriguez glided through Miami's elite social scene like she was born for it. The 36-year-old former runway model had traded catwalks for charity events, her striking features and designer wardrobe making her the crown jewel of every fundraiser and gallery opening. She collected art, hosted lavish dinner parties, and managed the Rodriguez Family Foundation with the same precision Marcus applied to his business deals. Gabriel Torres had been Marcus's best friend since their college days at the University of Miami. Now 39, Gabriel served as Marcus's business partner and closest confidant. Where Marcus was calculated and methodical, Gabriel brought charm and social connections. He lived in a penthouse just 15 minutes from the Rodriguez mansion, close enough for impromptu visits and late-night strategy sessions about their latest development projects. The three formed Miami's most enviable triangle. Gabriel was practically family, joining Marcus and Isabella for weekend sailing trips on their 60-foot yacht, holiday celebrations, and exclusive club dinners. Isabella treated Gabriel like the brother she never had, while Marcus trusted him with both business secrets and personal confidences. Rodriguez Development Group dominated Miami's luxury market. Marcus and Gabriel had built their company from a single property flip into a $100 million operation. Their latest project involved transforming a waterfront district into Miami's next exclusive residential community. The development required significant capital investment, but both men were confident about the returns. Isabella maintained her own identity within their wealthy world. Her art gallery in Wynwood showcased emerging Latin American artists, and her foundation provided scholarships for underprivileged students pursuing business degrees. She genuinely cared about giving back, though she never let charity work interfere with her social obligations or shopping expeditions to design district boutiques. Gabriel remained unmarried, claiming his bachelor lifestyle suited him perfectly. He dated occasionally but never seriously, preferring to focus on business growth and maintaining his friendship with the Rodriguez couple. He spent most weekends at their mansion, sometimes staying in their guest wing when business discussions ran late into the night. Their social calendar revolved around Miami's exclusive circuit. Country club tennis matches, private art viewings, yacht club, regattas, and invitation-only parties filled their weeks. Marcus enjoyed the networking opportunities these events provided, while Isabella thrived on the social interactions and fashion competitions that came with their lifestyle. The Rodriguez marriage appeared solid from the outside. They had been together for 8 years, married for 5, and seemed to complement each other perfectly. Marcus provided stability and success, while Isabella brought beauty and social grace. Their friends often commented on how lucky they were to have found such perfect balance. Money flowed freely through their lives. Marcus drove a custom Bentley Continental. Isabella preferred her white Maserati, and Gabriel owned a collection of luxury vehicles including a Porsche and a Range Rover. Their homes showcased expensive furnishings, original artwork, and technology that most people could only dream about owning. But beneath the surface of their glamorous existence, subtle tensions had begun developing. Business pressures were mounting as their latest development faced unexpected regulatory delays. The project required additional funding, and both Marcus and Gabriel felt the strain of extended timelines and increased costs. Tuesday evening, March 15th, started like any other night at the Rodriguez mansion. Marcus returned home from the office around 7:30, discussing the day's challenges with Isabella over dinner on their terrace, overlooking the bay. Gabriel joined them for cocktails around 9, and the three reviewed preliminary plans for an upcoming business trip to New York. Isabella excused herself around 10:15, claiming fatigue from a lengthy foundation board meeting earlier that day. She kissed Marcus goodnight and headed upstairs to their master suite, leaving the two men to continue their business discussion over Brandy and Marcus's study. Gabriel departed around 11:45, using the side entrance that led directly to the circular driveway where his Porsche waited. Marcus walked him out, as was their usual custom, and the two men shook hands before Gabriel drove away into the Miami night. Security cameras captured Gabriel's departure and showed Marcus returning to the house alone. The footage revealed nothing unusual about their farewell or Marcus's behavior as he closed and locked the door behind him. What happened next remains partially unclear, but the timeline becomes crucial for understanding the events that followed. Marcus's phone last connected to their home wireless network at 12:37 in the morning. His final text message sent to his business manager simply read, "Reviewing contracts tonight. We'll discuss changes tomorrow." Isabella claimed she fell asleep reading in bed and heard nothing unusual throughout the night. She discovered Marcus's absence the following morning when she went downstairs for coffee and found his study empty, with papers scattered across his desk and his laptop still open to a financial spreadsheet. Initially, Isabella assumed Marcus had left early for a meeting she had forgotten about, but when she checked their shared calendar and found no appointments scheduled, concern began creeping in. She called his cell phone repeatedly, but each call went straight to voicemail. By noon on Wednesday, Isabella contacted Gabriel to ask whether Marcus had mentioned any surprise business obligations. Gabriel seemed genuinely puzzled by the question and immediately offered to help locate their missing friend. He drove to the Rodriguez mansion within 20 minutes and helped Isabella search for clues about Marcus's whereabouts. They discovered Marcus's wallet, keys, and watch in his study, items he never left behind when leaving the house. His Bentley remained in the garage, eliminating the possibility that he had driven somewhere independently. The boat stayed moored at their private dock, ruling out an early morning sailing excursion. Gabriel suggested calling the police, but Isabella hesitated, worried about creating unnecessary drama if Marcus appeared with a reasonable explanation for his absence. She preferred to wait until evening, hoping he would return or contact them with details about his location. Wednesday evening brought no word from Marcus. His business manager confirmed that their scheduled morning meeting never occurred, and that Marcus had not responded to any calls or emails throughout the day. His absence from the office was completely out of character, as Marcus typically maintained constant communication with his staff and partners. Thursday morning, Isabella finally contacted the Miami-Dade Police Department to report Marcus as a missing person. Detective Carmen Vega responded to the call and arrived at the Star Island mansion to begin the initial investigation. She interviewed Isabella and Gabriel separately, documenting their accounts of Tuesday evening's events and Marcus's recent behavior patterns. Detective Vega found no obvious signs of struggle within the house, but she noted the scattered papers in Marcus's study and requested permission to examine his computer and phone records. Isabella cooperated fully, providing passwords and authorizing access to their joint financial accounts. The initial search focused on Marcus's regular locations around Miami. Police checked his office building, the yacht club, his favorite restaurants, and the gym where he exercised 3 mornings per week. Security footage from various locations showed no trace of Marcus after Tuesday evening. Gabriel organized a volunteer search party, comprising their friends and business associates. The group distributed flyers throughout Star Island, South Beach, and downtown Miami, hoping someone might have seen Marcus walking or traveling somewhere unusual. The media picked up the disappearance after 48 hours, running Marcus's photograph on local news broadcasts. Isabella appeared distraught during television interviews, pleading for Marcus's safe return and asking anyone with information to contact the police immediately. She offered a $50,000 reward for information leading to his whereabouts, demonstrating her desperation to find her husband. Detective Vega expanded the investigation as days passed without any credible leads. She interviewed Marcus's business clients, employees, and extended family members, searching for potential motives or conflicts that might explain his disappearance. The Financial Review revealed Rodriguez Development Group faced significant pressure due to their stalled development project, but nothing suggested immediate danger. Isabella's behavior during the investigation began raising subtle concerns among both police and their social circle. While she maintained the appearance of a worried wife, Some friends noticed inconsistencies in her emotional responses. She seemed more concerned about maintaining social appearances than focusing entirely on finding Marcus. Gabriel remained deeply involved in the search efforts, working closely with Detective Vega and coordinating with private investigators. Isabella hired to supplement the police work. His dedication appeared genuine, and he provided detailed information about Marcus's recent state of mind, business concerns, and personal relationships. 3 weeks after Marcus's disappearance, Isabella made a decision that shocked everyone who knew the couple. She purchased a brand new Ferrari California T from a Coral Gables dealership, spending nearly $200,000 on the luxury sports car. The timing seemed incredibly inappropriate, given that her husband remained missing and their family was presumably in crisis. Isabella's explanation for the purchase surprised even Detective Vega. She claimed the Ferrari was a gift for Gabriel, intended to thank him for his tireless efforts in searching for Marcus and supporting her during the traumatic experience. She presented the gesture as an act of gratitude rather than celebration, but many people found the timing questionable. Gabriel's reaction to receiving the expensive gift appeared mixed. He expressed appreciation for Isabella's generosity, while also questioning whether such an extravagant purchase was appropriate under the circumstances. However, he accepted the car keys and began driving the red Ferrari around Miami, drawing attention from their social circle and local media. The Ferrari purchase generated significant gossip within Miami's elite community. Friends and acquaintances struggled to understand Isabella's reasoning, especially since the Rodriguez family finances were supposedly strained due to the ongoing development project challenges. Some whispered about inappropriate priorities, while others wondered whether Isabella knew something about Marcus's fate that she had not disclosed to police. Detective Vega found the Ferrari purchase highly suspicious and decided to intensify her investigation of both Isabella and Gabriel. She obtained warrants for their phone records, banking information, and travel history, searching for any evidence that might connect them to Marcus's disappearance. The financial analysis revealed several interesting patterns that had not been apparent during the initial investigation. Banking records showed that Isabella had accessed Marcus's business accounts multiple times during the weeks preceding his disappearance, transferring significant amounts to her personal account. While she had legitimate access to these funds as his wife, the timing and amounts seemed unusual given their normal financial patterns. Gabriel's financial situation also appeared more complex than initially understood. Despite his partnership in Rodriguez Development Group, his personal debts were substantial, including gambling losses at several Miami casinos and outstanding loans for various luxury purchases. The Ferrari gift effectively eliminated his most pressing financial obligations. Phone records revealed extensive communication between Isabella and Gabriel during the months before Marcus's disappearance. They exchanged hundreds of text messages and phone calls, many occurring during times when both should have been busy with other obligations. The frequency and timing of their communications suggested a relationship that extended beyond friendship and business partnership. Detective Vega interviewed the Rodriguez household staff more thoroughly, discovering that the cleaning lady had noticed Isabella and Gabriel spending time alone together when Marcus was traveling for business. While nothing overtly inappropriate had been observed, their behavior suggested growing intimacy that neither had disclosed during initial police interviews. The investigation expanded to include surveillance footage from various Miami locations where Isabella and Gabriel were known to frequent. Camera evidence from restaurants, hotels, and shopping centers began revealing a pattern of clandestine meetings that contradicted their claims of purely platonic friendship. Insurance investigators joined the police effort when Isabella inquired about Marcus's life insurance policies, just 4 weeks after his disappearance. The policies, worth nearly $3 million, would provide substantial financial security for Isabella if Marcus were declared legally dead. The timing of her inquiry raised additional red flags for Detective Vega. Business associates began providing more detailed information about tensions within Rodriguez Development Group. Several employees reported heated arguments between Marcus and Gabriel regarding project management and financial decisions during the weeks before the disappearance. The partnership, which had seemed solid from the outside, apparently faced significant internal strain. 3 months after Marcus Rodriguez vanished from his Miami mansion, a group of university students hiking through the Everglades made a discovery that would change everything. They were participating in a weekend ecology project, when one student noticed an unusual odor coming from a dense cluster of mangrove trees, approximately 60 miles southwest of Miami. Park rangers responded to the student's report and found human remains in an advanced state of decomposition. The location was remote and difficult to access, requiring specialized equipment to retrieve the body without disturbing the surrounding ecosystem. Initial examinations suggested the remains had been there for several months. Dental records confirmed the identity within 48 hours. Marcus Rodriguez. The medical examiner determined that Marcus had died from blunt force trauma to the head, officially ruling his death a homicide. The remote location and careful concealment of the body indicated premeditation rather than a spontaneous act of violence. Detective Vega immediately obtained search warrants for both the Rodriguez mansion and Gabriel's penthouse. The forensic team discovered blood evidence in Marcus's study that had been cleaned but not eliminated entirely. Luminol testing revealed blood spatter patterns consistent with a violent attack that someone had attempted to conceal. Gabriel's penthouse search yielded even more damaging evidence. Hidden in his bedroom closet, investigators found a baseball bat with microscopic traces of blood and hair that matched Marcus's DNA. Gabriel had apparently kept the murder weapon rather than disposing of it properly, a critical mistake that provided definitive physical evidence linking him to the crime. The investigation revealed the shocking truth about Isabella and Gabriel's relationship. Phone records, banking information, and witness testimony confirmed they had been conducting a secret affair for over a year before Marcus's death. Their relationship had evolved from friendship to romance to conspiracy, culminating in the planned murder of Marcus to eliminate the obstacle to their future together. Financial analysis revealed their motive extended beyond romantic passion. Gabriel's gambling debts had reached critical levels, and Marcus had recently discovered the financial irregularities within their business partnership. Gabriel had been embezzling funds from Rodriguez Development Group to cover his casino losses, and Marcus was preparing to dissolve their partnership and pursue criminal charges. Isabella faced her own financial motivations for wanting Marcus dead. Despite their wealthy lifestyle, the couple's prenuptial agreement limited her inheritance rights significantly. However, Marcus's life insurance policies and business interests would provide her with complete financial independence if he died, rather than divorced her. The conspiracy required careful timing and coordination. Isabella ensured she would have an alibi by going to bed early on the night of the murder, while Gabriel returned to the house using a key Marcus had given him years earlier. Gabriel attacked Marcus in his study while he worked alone, then transported the body to the Everglades, using Marcus's own boat to avoid detection. The Ferrari purchase represented both payment and celebration. Isabella used Marcus's money to reward Gabriel for executing their plan successfully, while also providing him with the means to pay off his most pressing debts. They believed the expensive gift would appear as genuine gratitude, rather than suspicious payment for murder. Their plan might have succeeded if not for several critical errors. Gabriel's decision to keep the murder weapon provided prosecutors with irrefutable physical evidence. The extensive phone and text communications between Isabella and Gabriel created a clear record of their conspiracy. Most importantly, their behavior after Marcus's disappearance generated enough suspicion to warrant intensive investigation. Detective Vega arrested Isabella Rodriguez and Gabriel Torres simultaneously on June 20th. Exactly 3 months and 5 days after Marcus's disappearance. Both suspects were charged with first-degree murder, conspiracy to commit murder, and fraud related to the embezzlement of business funds. Isabella maintained her innocence initially, claiming Gabriel had acted independently without her knowledge or involvement. However, the overwhelming evidence of their romantic relationship and coordinated planning made her denials impossible to sustain. Her attorney eventually negotiated a plea agreement in exchange for her cooperation with prosecutors. Gabriel's defense strategy focused on portraying the murder as unpremeditated, claiming he had confronted Marcus about business disputes and violence erupted spontaneously. The physical evidence and planning details contradicted this narrative, and the jury rejected his claims during the trial that dominated Miami headlines for 6 months. The prosecution presented a compelling case, demonstrating how greed and betrayal had motivated the conspiracy. Isabella's desire for financial independence combined with Gabriel's desperate need to resolve his gambling debts created the perfect conditions for murder. Their affair provided the emotional foundation for their criminal partnership. The trial revealed additional details about their relationship that shocked even their closest friends. Hotel records showed Isabella and Gabriel had traveled together secretly on multiple occasions, sometimes using false names to avoid recognition. Credit card statements documented expensive dinners, jewelry purchases, and romantic getaways that confirmed their intimate relationship. Isabella received a sentence of 25 years to life in prison, after accepting the plea agreement that spared her from potential death penalty consideration. Gabriel, who refused to cooperate with prosecutors, received life in prison without the possibility of parole. The judge emphasized the premeditated nature of their crime and the betrayal of trust that made their actions particularly heinous. The Rodriguez fortune became the subject of extensive legal proceedings. Marcus's family challenged Isabella's inheritance rights, arguing that murderers should not profit from their crimes. The courts ultimately awarded Marcus's business interests and personal assets to his parents and siblings, leaving Isabella with minimal financial resources for her defense and future needs. Rodriguez Development Group collapsed within months of the arrests, as investors and clients lost confidence in the company's stability and reputation. The stalled development project was eventually completed by competing firms, but the Rodriguez name disappeared from Miami's real estate landscape permanently. Gabriel's penthouse and luxury possessions were seized to satisfy his outstanding debts and provide restitution to the Rodriguez family. The Ferrari California T that had served as evidence of their conspiracy was sold at auction, with proceeds contributed to a scholarship fund established in Marcus's memory. Miami's social elite struggled to process the revelation that two people they had trusted and celebrated were capable of such calculated evil. Many questioned their ability to judge character and worried about what other secrets might be hidden within their exclusive community. The case became a cautionary tale about the dangers of appearances and the corrupting influence of money and desire. Detective Vega later observed that Isabella and Gabriel's crime was ultimately motivated by their unwillingness to accept the consequences of their choices and their belief that wealth could solve any problem. This devastating case reminds us that trust and loyalty cannot be measured by expensive gifts or social status. The relationships that matter most in our lives deserve our complete honesty and commitment, because betrayal often destroys more than just the immediate victims. What do you think could have prevented this tragedy? Have you ever questioned the motives behind someone's unusually generous behavior? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And subscribe to True Crime Seat for more stories that explore the dark side of human nature and the importance of staying true to the people who trust us most.